Welcome back to another episode of Skin After Dark. I'm your host, Laura, and today I'm joined by Beck from Meso Aesthetics. Beck, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Can't wait. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and who you are.
Okay. So I've been in the industry over 30 years, so that's going to say my age.
Yeah.
Have absolutely loved the industry, have been in schools training, have been in day spas when day spas were first coming out, went into owning my own business for 17 years, and then was lucky to get an opportunity to go into working with a product company. So that's been the last 7 years, gosh. Yeah. So, yeah, but the industry has been growing and I've seen it change so much. So, but it's nice to give back as well.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's go in. So you're currently working with Meso Aesthetics.
Yep.
What made you take a position with them, and what brands have you been with previously?
Yeah, so, well, I mean, in my salon I had Dermalogica and SkinCeuticals and absolutely loved those. And I've worked with Ultraceuticals and my beloved Zero Skin Health. I've absolutely loved that. What made me go to Meso was more in regards to, it is a medical brand, but they've got an amazing treatment brand as well. We've got the Cosmelan, but there is also the sunscreen side to it, which they've just done so much research. And then, of course, they're going now into microneedling, and then we're going to go into peptides and ampules. So it's just got a lot to give to, particularly in Australia.
Yeah, like more of a, I guess, medical cosmeceutical background.
Totally, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's exciting. Okay, so what made you, I guess, go from owning your own clinic to then being like a therapist yourself to then changing over and going into products and training?
Yeah, I broke my wrist on a dance floor.
Yep, okay.
I snapped my radius and then caused a severed tendon. And I had kids going into high school, private high school, and I thought if my hand goes again, I mean, I've got my husband, but I do like finer things in life. Yeah. So maybe it's time for me to get out of doing my own business. So, and I also I'm a bit of a show off. So I like being a bit of an entertainer, and that's hence why the education side was more me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see you. Obviously, you've trained me before. We have such a good relationship that way. So it's definitely, I think, where you fit and where you should be.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go into, I want to talk to you more about like consultation, clients, and different skin concerns and things like that. So let's start with, why do you feel like a consultation is the most important part of a treatment?
Okay, so it is. You have a client coming in and you have the ability to help change their skin, but also not just their skin, their confidence. Yeah. But you have to build the rapport from the start, and that's your consultation. You can't just go in there and start taking care of a skin without getting to know that client, the personality, their lifestyle, whether or not they're committed or not, and giving them a bit more of an outline is really essential to getting the best out of their skin, and that's for every single person.
So what should a client expect before coming in for a consultation?
Yeah, so I think the thing for a client is they need to know where they're going, what their budget's like, what their time restraints like, what their concerns are, and really get a little bit of an understanding of why they're coming in, and also making sure that they are totally honest.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest one. Everyone has so many different things, and it's like, oh my God, just put it all out on the table.
Because we're not judging, but we're wanting to make sure we take very good care of you, and particularly with medication and health, that's really important for us to know.
So then what would you say is like the biggest mistake, I guess, a client would make before coming in for a consultation?
I think being held back by, I think a lot of clients come in and they think that they're going to be sold to. Yeah. And that's changed a lot. We're educating more and more. You, as your job, will always educate, and I know that that's what you do. Yeah. So I think that if they're not prepared to give it all and be prepared to be committed to a treatment or home care, then there's no point. You'll just have a wall up, and that won't help you get the best out of it.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes to, I guess, like building trust with clients and having that kind of communication and things with them. So then if you have a client that comes into clinic, how would you then, and they want, crazy thing and you know you can't give it to them, how would you manage unrealistic expectations for a client coming into clinic?
Yeah, I think you're right, what you said before about building that trust and the rapport. Building that relationship with a client and a therapist is essential. But then from there, I think the most important thing is talking to them honestly.
Yeah.
I like to make sure that I put my client as I would want to be treated.
Yeah.
And I want to be honestly taken care of, but I also want to have advice. We do so much study and training, and you never stop.
Yeah, 100%.
They have to respect and understand that as well. But I think, again, it's building that relationship and trust and being honest.
I think that's the biggest thing, going to like being kind of honest and things like that. I think clients come in as well and they go, you know, I want to have like the expectation of having a treatment, but not knowing, I guess, how many treatments you need to have, and having that open communication to say, you know, having one skin needling treatment isn't going to do shit for your skin. Like, you do need to do like a whole bunch of them. How would you then kind of explain that to clients to say it is a journey and it takes a course of treatments and it's not a one-off fix?
Yeah, and it starts with getting to know that client. You'll have someone that will come in that's quite shy, and you need to take it down a step and really slowly work with that client, where you'll have someone like myself who wants everything. You know that.
Yeah.
I want everything. And so I need it laid out.
Yeah.
But it's about personality, and I think we forget that personality with consultation is essential to getting to know how to best treat them.
Yeah. Okay, so then, you know, both of us, I guess, are clients that want to do a bunch of everything. And we go in and we go, we'll do this, this and this, and it's probably not the greatest thing to do, but, you know, we still do it. How do you then say no to a client in the most polite way, like politest way? How do you say no?
Just be honest. Yeah. No. And I think the thing is also explaining why you want to translate why they have this skin concern. And if they've got a skin concern and they're wanting to go down, you know, they're wanting to do more high intense modalities, but it's not going to be suited to them. You have to be able to explain that. And again, that will come with that respect and that rapport that you build. And I think when the first time you see a client for a consultation, you need to say, this is a journey and we might go in one direction, but we actually might turn it in another direction. And we have to do that step by step. So it is going to always be where we're contacting each other, speaking and making sure we're going the right direction.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so then let's talk more about skin concerns and things, because obviously both of us being therapists, we've seen so many different concerns and things coming into clinic. Let's start with acne, because I feel like that can be either in teenagers, you can have adult acne, it can be such a broad kind of, you know, concern that people have. How do we explain what acne is and what kind of treatments and things would you offer to clients that come in with acne?
Yeah, well, I mean, acne is there's so many causes to acne. And I think that people forget that there is your hormonal, there is, you know, your teenage boy. I've got the 15-year-old right now that's got the breakouts. You have so many, like even going into menopause, we start to get acne as well. We're reverting backwards, I think. But being able to explain exactly what their acne is essential. Yeah. Because, for example, I can give my son every single skincare, but if he's going to wipe his shirt, his sweaty basketball shirt on his... It's wild. So it's actually a longer process. It's a little bit like pigmentation. You really need to break it down, explain exactly why they have that acne, whatever it is, if it's inflamed or if it's more of a pustule lesion, and then really giving them every single step by step of what's going to happen, because it's not just a benzoyl peroxide or, now an antibiotic or whatever. Yeah. It is a whole process in one.
So I don't know if you've seen this kind of trend currently going on TikTok, but using tretinoin and azelaic acid and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that is pumping. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It is pretty controversial in like who's using and things like that.
Yeah.
For us in clinic, it's not something that we have a doctor as well, and it's not something that we really ever recommend unless you have like the worst skin that there's like nothing we can do and we've tried everything, then yes, maybe going and looking more at, your gut health and things to see what's actually inflaming it. What would you say about that current trend?
Yeah, I think people are going too hard too fast. It's our younger generation seem to get a pimple and then they're on Roaccutane. Yeah. There's nothing against going on to medicine. I think it's brilliant when needed, but I think that there is areas where you can actually start to take care of them. Most of the time, the people that are going on to medication haven't been cleansing their skin correctly.
Yeah.
And so as soon as they go off that medication or off that product, they haven't learnt anything. They haven't learnt how to cleanse their skin. They haven't learnt how to exfoliate. They haven't learnt how to actually manage their skin. Yeah. So it's almost like a Band-Aid effect.
100%.
And that's unfortunately where doctors they don't have the time, but they haven't been able to explain it. So having a really trusted skin clinician that can help you is really important. And we will always advise if they need to seek medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We always see clients coming into clinic and it's not a laughable thing, but it's crazy because I see it all the time of clients coming in and they're trying to conceive, right? So they've been on the pill. I feel like everyone, including myself, we were put on the pill when we were 14, 15 years old and you're on it for 10 years and things, and you only start to realize when you do get older, you know what, maybe it's not the right thing for me.
Yeah.
Now we see so much in clinic of people literally going through that stage where they have been on the pill for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
They've come off it and now their skin and they're having massive hormonal breakouts.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people that are experiencing that? How do you kind of come up with a treatment plan for them? And is there products or treatments that you would recommend?
Oh, there's definitely great products. I think the first thing is teaching them how to take care of their skin in the basic way, and explaining why we need to cleanse correctly, why we need to exfoliate. But it's also, it is talking about your gut health as well. That's a really important part. We know that if you've got an imbalanced gut health, which sometimes does come from being on hormones, as well as omega fatty acids we need to be on, they are really important. We obviously can direct them to see a naturopath, but they do need to look at their internal health as well. But getting them onto a good skincare regime and then starting some treatments is really important. Getting that cell turnover going and having having a realistic expectation that it's not going to be one treatment. No. It can take 3 to 6 months. Yeah. It can take longer than that. So,
Yeah, I think acne is probably one of the hardest things to treat, but also quite rewarding to treat. When you do see results of someone that does have acne, and then it takes quite a bit of time, but you do start to see it is a process, it is a journey.
It is, and it's just, and you have to always be on it.
Yeah,
I always say to younger kids, if they've had breakouts and we've learnt how to deal with their skin and they know how to cleanse and take care of it, they're gonna have the best skin forever because they know how to take care of it.
Yeah.
And they've respected their skin and love it, the way it is.
Okay, so let's go into what I think is one of the hardest things to treat, and that would be pigmentation. What is pigmentation to you? What causes pigment? Let's explain to clients listening, what are the different types of pigmentation that we see with them coming into clinic?
There's a huge amount of different types of pigmentation. Yeah. You've got your melasmas, you've got a post-inflammatory inflammation or pigmentation. You have freckles, you have age spots that I keep teasing my husband he has. You have so many different types of pigmentation, but people specifically think that pigmentation comes from sun, and it's the sun is going to exacerbate it, but your hormones exacerbate it. Pollution exacerbates it. Heat exacerbates it. It is it's almost like an acne where you have all-round care. You have to make sure that you're taking care of your skin to the utmost, as well as being continually on it. And unfortunately, people go and have a modality, they zap it, they get rid of it, and then they go back to sunbaking.
Yeah.
Or not wearing a hat.
I see that all the time in clinic with clients coming in the wintertime and doing a Lamecca IPL treatment. And, we zap it off and we say to them, for me, I say, if you go back out in the sun and you roast yourself, your pigment is going to come back tenfolds. And I think that's so important in your consultation to explain that, because people don't realize how much, I guess, the heat does exacerbate pigmentation. Yeah. And even though we've removed it superficially and maybe slightly underneath the skin as well, it is going to come back if you don't kind of monitor it and keep it protected with SPF. I think that's probably...
Yeah, it's crazy because you'd think that it's something that we talk about a lot, but it just seems to not be getting out there.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a sad thing because, you spend a lot of money treating your skin, but then not wearing a sunscreen or going sunbaking. Like, I cannot believe people are still sunbaking. Like...
Look, go back, 10 years ago. I was one of those people laying in solariums. Now I'm the most whitest person you're ever going to meet.
But it's fashionable to be white now.
Yeah, I know. Look, this is very true, but it's not like my greatest thing. But yeah,
and unfortunately, with hormones as well, with melasma, you're not going to stop a hormone from causing it as well.
I want to go in a little bit to melasma because we have clients that come into clinic after conceiving a child, right? Through pregnancy, breastfeeding, all of that. And they have that nice, mustache on their top lip or that, block of melasma on the forehead. How do we explain to clients why melasma is caused during pregnancy and what treatments can they do to remove that?
Well, and that's a big thing nowadays.
Yeah.
I think one of the first things you need to talk to them about is whether or not they're still breastfeeding, because obviously we want to make sure that their hormones are at bay before we start going into treatments. You definitely can start to take care of your skin. And so that's, again, exfoliation, sunscreen, really cleansing. I know people don't think that that's important, but cleansing your skin, especially at nighttime.
Yeah, removing free radicals and everything from the day as well.
So, yeah, exactly. But then working out what's going to suit their skin type, what their Fitzpatrick is really important as well. And then going from there into your treatments and planning treatments, but also talking to them about you cannot go out in the sun. You must wear a sunscreen. You must have a hat on because it is a consistent thing. You can't just stick to one thing. No. It's like having a Cosmelan. You can do a Cosmelan and get some fantastic results. But if 6 months down the track you're not taking care of your skin, it's just going to come back as well. Yeah. But hormones, they do need to have a bit of understanding that we can't control those hormones.
Yeah. I think, for us in clinic, we see clients, so much post, that hormonal change in their body and having a baby where it's like, you can't really help what your hormones are going to do at the end of the day, unfortunately. Yeah. And you might be that unlucky person that does, get melasma through pregnancy, but definitely Cosmelan is something that can help it. But for us in clinic, we always say, like I say to clients, if you don't follow the correct aftercare, doing your Cosmelan treatment, don't even bother doing the treatment. It's such a waste of money. And I think that's where, people think that treatments like your Cosmelan is that one-off fix, which I guess in a way of marketing it is. However, it is definitely something you need to follow the correct aftercare.
Yeah. And any treatment you do for pigmentation and or acne, if you don't continue to take care of your skin, it will either come back or it'll be causing another problem, I think that's one of the biggest problems. You might have acne where they've got scarring now. Mm-hmm. And so if you're not taking care of your skin on a continual basis, the scarring is going to look worse. Yeah. Same with pigmentation. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go into what I think is kind of a growing concern currently out there is coming into like rosacea and sensitive skin.
Yeah, huge.
Why do you feel like people have, every second person has sensitive skin, or people are saying we're seeing more of rosacea coming into clinics?
Do you want me to really honestly tell you?
Honestly tell me, yes.
TikTok, K-beauty.
Yeah.
They have got such impaired skins out there. Look, I think rosacea, it's becoming more apparent, and I do think that might be a lifestyle issue. Yeah. I think it is also a hormonal where people just are not slowing down. So rosacea is a hard one and it is a tricky one, but that impaired sensitive skin is just, people are doing it to themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's it. If you come into a clinic, we will talk to you about your impaired barrier. We will talk about strengthening your skin, and we will work with it. And sometimes we go less is best.
100%.
But then what happens is you're flicking along and you're seeing all of these products and you think that they've got great reviews, even ChatGPT, like they'll say that's a great product. So you try it, or your best friend's given you something to try. Wow, it is so bad for your skin.
I think probably, going onto like social media and TikTok and things, it is why people have, impaired barriers and things. And I think it is very important. And that's where it comes back to going into a clinic and having a professional consultation and understanding your skin and understanding that skin isn't a one-size-fits-all, and everyone is so different in, what their skin is. Like what I use on my skin is going to be completely different to what you use on yours.
Totally, yeah.
And I think that's where, your Korean beauty, even like going into your tretinoins and your topical retinols and your medical, prescriptions and things like that are impairing the barrier like no tomorrow.
I have a friend of mine, beautiful friend. She was a client years ago, and she started to get some breakouts. So she got a BHA cleanser, and then she got a scrub, and then she used a BHA solution. She was putting so much hydroxy acids and BHAs on her skin that she actually caused her problem. Mm-hmm. She, had a couple of little pimples. She could have probably taken care of it. It actually became worse, and it almost was a 6-month course for her to calm her skin down.
That's wild. I think that's where as well using, too many acids, and sometimes people think, okay, I have this, I'm going to use, I love a lactic acid, but I'm going to use a lactic and a glycolic and a salicylic and, a tranexamic acid, and you're using so many different acids on your skin that are actually causing more harm than good.
And then they go and put retinol on their skin at the same time.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm all for like using acids and things. Obviously we use acids in clinic, but it's like just having a better understanding, having a proper consultation again in clinic to know what your skin actually needs and what you need to do for it. I think that's the
and we have studied it. Like we aren't.
That's it, right? Yeah.
I think that's what they forget. We have studied it. GPs do 1 week of skin pretty much. Yeah. We've done, and we continue to do our studies, and that's also in our inner health as well. We're working out what's better for us. When I started, we never spoke about inner gut health, and now it's everything.
Oh, gut health, so important.
Yeah. So we're learning as well, but we have the understanding of the skin as well.
Yeah. So would you say then for clients coming in that have that rosacea and have that impaired barrier, sensitive skin, can they still do advanced skin treatments?
100% they can.
Yeah.
Once their barrier. Yeah. You can take care of a skin that has had rosacea and do some great results and really up the ante as long as it's not active.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, the client needs to get to know what is sparking it, what's igniting it, and how to calm it down. And then once it's fine, then building up the skin as well. But, yeah, they definitely can as long as it's strong.
Yeah. Perfect.
Skin.
Okay. So then let's talk about, I feel like for clients coming into my clinic, I always see, middle-aged women coming in and they have concerns of aging, or they get into, their 40s and 50s and go, oh my God, I have all of these wrinkles and my neck elasticity is sagging and all of this, right? And they say, I've left it too late. At what point do you think people should start to actually prevent aging coming through, and what can you do to prevent
Since the day they're born.
Yeah.
Like sunscreen.
Yeah.
My kids hated me because we would always be putting sunscreen on them. And because I used a nice thicker mineral based for them, then we'd have to cleanse their skin at nighttime to get it off because it would dry the skin.
100%.
So you need to start from this very beginning. And I'm not saying that they need a 12-step treatment, but they need to make sure that they're cleansing their skin correctly, that they're putting sunscreens on. And then when things start happening, so, acne, a bit of congestion, slowly introducing something to support their skin and teaching people how to take care of their skin, from a younger age, I think is really important.
Yeah. So what would you say to middle-aged clients coming in, say you've got someone, in their 40s, 50s, and they come into clinic and go, oh my God, help me.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I think the thing is, first of all, it's not too late.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time people will say, oh, I really like your skin. I want your skin. I take care of my skin really well. I am so consistent, and I can layer, 4 to 5 products.
Yeah.
I want my skin to look great. They have to be prepared to be doing the home care. They have to have that commitment. And then they have to start looking at what treatments they can do to build and boost their skin. So it's a little bit of making sure they have a continual home care, preventing any further issues, but then correcting it as well where they need to, maybe start adding in a vitamin C or, specifically what their concern is, working with that as well.
So how would you explain then to listeners what the difference between prevention and correction.
Yeah, well, you're wanting to prevent all the time. And that can even be just from a cleanser, preventing further pigmentation or preventing breakouts or congestion, to then going into your correction where, you know, your collagen is kind of starting to slag. You want to boost it, then you're going to add vitamin C in. That's going to correct the concerns that you've had. And again, don't forget, prevention's also sunscreen as well. So you kind of have to have the best of both worlds for it to be effective. And that's where clients will go, oh, that's a lot. Well, yeah, but you've left your skin this long without using a moisturizer or an exfoliant. Yeah. Like, that blows my mind how people can't.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
and there's so many different types of exfoliants you can use. Like, you can use a physical, you can use, you know, a good scrub, you can use a chemical exfoliant, and I don't think people realize like how many different exfoliants are actually readily available for you to use.
Yeah, and for all different types of skin, from sensitive skins, having an enzyme that they can use, you know, a couple of nights a week versus where you're going into more of a stronger chemical exfoliation.
Okay, so then let's go into more so like creating a treatment plan.
Yep.
Right? So why do you feel like one treatment is never enough? Why do we recommend more than one treatment?
Well, it's just like me going for a run now and expecting to lose 5 kilos from my run. You need home care, and the treatment will boost your skin. Your home care will keep it nice and healthy, keep it strong so that we can push it a little bit further. But you can't just have one treatment and expect that it's going to be. And I think you can't also expect to do 6 months. You know, you've got a bride that says to you, oh, okay, my wedding's coming up in a year's time. Yeah. And then after they've had the wedding, they don't come back.
Oh, yeah, we say it all the time. Yeah.
Well, hang on. Don't you want your skin to look great for you all the time? It's not that you have to be coming, you know, every fortnight or every week, but you do need to have a plan. And what I love about our industry now is we're customizing everything. Yeah. You would go in and you would customize a home program as well as a treatment program specifically for that client. And that might be on their lifestyle, it might be on their budget. I think that's a really important part. We are working with people's budgets and making sure that we give them the best outcome, but it is personalized to them.
So why do you think that we say home care is so important? For me, I say to clients all the time, I would prefer you to have a solid home care routine than come and see me once a month. Obviously, I own a clinic. I want them to do both.
Yeah.
But for me, I say I would rather you have such a solid home care routine. Why do we say that?
Because your skin starts from your home care. So cleansing is really essential to get that fantastic support barrier before we go into exfoliation and moisturizing. If you don't have that, when they're coming in, it's almost like you've done 2 steps backwards. You know, you're almost getting rid of like 2 months worth of dead skin and their makeup that they've left on their skin overnight, or they're not cleansing correctly. You're really fixing that problem. So if you've got them on a great home care and their skin is looking brilliant, you then up the ante and then they're getting more bang for their buck basically.
So then how do we educate clients in consultations without overwhelming them that they do need to have a thorough routine and they do need to come in for treatments?
Build rapport.
Build
your rapport. That is one thing. If you can't communicate with your therapist, maybe they're not the right therapist, and that doesn't mean that they're right or wrong, but you need to be able to be really open with that clinician and get the best out of it. We want to take care of skin. We want people to be using good skincare and having treatments. That's what makes our job so fantastic. It's like playing Barbie all day.
100%.
But it's that rapport that you get, and once you've built a rapport, you build a trust. And over a period of time, that it's incredible, because you can have a client from teenage years all the way through because they've trusted you and they know that you're doing the right thing. But it does come back to the rapport. Yeah,
I think that's quite interesting, because for me in my clinic, right, I have someone in their 40s that, you know, works alongside me. I have someone in their 30s. I have me in my late 20s, and then I have a 19-year-old. And I think for me, when I opened my clinic, I was like, you know what? I actually need to have a bunch of different people, because I can tell you right now, people that relate to Nicole don't know not to relate to me.
Yeah.
People that relate to me don't relate to Bianca or Jess. Yep. And it's, you know, having someone that does kind of and can relate in different ways to different people. I think that's super important, because not everyone's going to relate the same to the same therapist.
With my son, I can harp on his skin.
Yeah.
And I'm just a nagging old mother.
Yeah.
But a younger person, possibly even a male, it would make more sense to him.
Yeah, which I find is like very interesting, because when I just had hired my last therapist, I was like, it was a bit wild, because I was like, okay, so we've got an older demographic of, you know, therapists, and I feel like that is very important when we do treatments that are, you know, advanced skin, and we're going into more of that aging and pigmentation and things. But I was like, you know, our clientele base, we don't have younger clients. Yeah. And I'm like, why don't we have younger clients? Like, it was crazy to me. And then I was like, people probably, you know, 18, 19, don't look at the three of us and go, that's exactly what I want, you know? And I think that was the biggest thing for me. So when I did hire, I was like, you know what, in the back of my mind going, I do want to hire someone that is that little bit younger, that doesn't have blonde hair, because the three of us have blonde hair, and, you know, just having that so people can actually relate, I think is, super important.
No, it is. I think it is important, you know, and that you're right. You know, there's different people. I mean, I'm pretty out there and loud and bouncy, so some people might find that a bit intimidating. So, I mean, I try and lower myself to that, you know. Yeah, exactly. But there is where I think the younger generation, they like the younger 100%. Therapists.
Like, Bianca is beautiful, and, you know, she has a clientele base of, you know, younger clients, and that's what we were missing in our clinic. So I think I nailed, you know, the head on that one, to be like, it was a great hire for us that way. Okay, so then let's go into like a little bit into TikTok, I guess, of like clients coming in and they say, you know, I saw this treatment on TikTok and I want, you know, glass skin in one treatment, and this is what I, you know, want. How do we explain to clients, and I feel like I talk about this in nearly every episode, but how do we explain to clients that TikTok is like it's not it? And
no.
How do you explain that?
You know, and that's, it's so hard, because I still have my friends that DM me and send me something that was on TikTok, and it's like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh my God, how many more things do we need to see? I think what we need to do is, first of all, tell the client or the friend, your skin does not need this, or your skin is not of that concern. The glass skin thing is absolutely ridiculous. It really is. You can get beautiful glowy skin, but it's not through using something from TikTok. It's just by keeping that nice natural health. And I think the more we do podcasts like this, the more we can get it out to the public that TikTok is not everything. Yeah. You know, I blows my mind. But I still have friends that send me, I think I had something sent to me today. I was like, wow, like, it's nice that they're checking with me. Yeah. But, you know,
you've got to draw the line somewhere, right?
I mean, what do you say?
Look, I think it's hard for us because we have an older demographic of clients in our clinic, right? So for us, it's kind of like they don't really watch TikTok and things. It's younger clients that come into us and they say, you know, I can have this treatment, or I saw this on TikTok, or, you know, like Medicube and all of the little Korean brands and stuff.
Good on
and for
Medicube.
me, I just, you know, back it back to clinical studies and like science backing and saying like, I can give someone glass skin by layering a shit ton of products on their skin and letting them leave going, look how good your skin looks, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you'll be hydrated and things, but it's not kind of getting rid of that actual concern that they come in with. Yeah. They might look really nice by sloshing a whole bunch of shit on their face, but it's not actually doing
What about
something
when they
to
put
the
the Vaseline on their face at nighttime and sleep in it?
Do you know, I've actually seen this trend at the moment that's going around is the zinc oxide creams straight on the face.
Oh, do you know how drying that is on your skin?
I've seen a lot of that. For us, like, you know, if we do a Morpheus 8 treatment, we recommend using ibuprofen post your treatment,
I love that product.
But post like your treatment to help kind of cause that block. It's preventing free radicals and things. We've also just caused a very big open wound. So we want to be able to protect that. Yeah. But am I going and popping like pseudo nappy rash cream on my skin and going to bed?
No.
Absolutely fucking not.
No.
Absolutely not, right? Like, we're not doing that. So I think that's where it's,
And I wonder where the studies are coming from. You know, with medical brands, like when we're talking about mesoaesthetics, their case studies they have to do, their white paper. It's huge. They have to make sure everything is correct. And then obviously the TGA comes through. Yeah. I'm surprised at some of these ranges can actually, well, first of all, it's not scientifically based.
No.
And they haven't, and I want to know what is in their ingredients. Yeah. Like you can't even read half of it.
Half the time they're not FDA approved. They're not TGA approved.
No, it's scary.
And that's the thing that it's like, you can have brands like your Meso Aesthetics, your Ultraceuticals, your Zeto Skin, right? That are very strongly clinically backed, scientific evidence. But then you can have your brands that don't have any of that and they're popped on the shelf. And I think that's where it's more so, again, comes back to consultation, comes back to professional advice of what is actually okay to use on the skin and what you should really stay clear of.
And, for example, if you're wanting glass skin and you've got oily skin and then you're putting something on, that Vaseline or whatever, it is going to cause disaster. And if, in fact, it's going to cost you a hell of a lot more to fix it, and you're going to have to do treatment to sort that skin out.
I had a client in the other day and she said, very, very oily skin, congested. And I said, what's your routine? And she said she uses a La Roche-Posay Cicaplast. And I said, I love a La Roche-Posay Cicaplast for a very dry, dehydrated skin. But, why are you putting that on your skin if you're, combination – well, she wasn't a combination. She was strictly oily.
Yeah.
And she was like, I saw it on TikTok. And I was like, that's where it's like, people look at it and they go, wow, her skin looks great. But you don't have that skin type.
Yeah.
Stay clear of that.
And also, and you would know this, going into middle age with perimenopause or menopausal, our skin changes dramatically. Yeah. It can be oily 1 minute and dry the next. So what's going to suit 1 week is not. So you really need to have someone that gives you the advice.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, what do you think excites you about the trends coming?
Oh, I love how microneedling is going. I love that. That to me is one of my faves.
Yeah.
I'm loving that peptides are coming in.
Yeah.
That'll be a hit and miss. I think you would always make sure you're going with a really great company when we're starting to go into peptides for product.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be buying anything from TikTok for it. But there is a lot coming out in this industry. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I agree with the peptide basis. I think I've had, people come on here and we've spoken a lot about peptides, and I think, yes, having something that is clinically backed,
it has to be
there's
clinically.
Scientific evidence, you're not buying it on the black market off a random website.
That scares me. Yeah. Yeah. Go with a company, go with a therapist.
Yeah.
Don't just be,
Yeah. Peptides and microneedling and all of that. It's definitely an exciting time in our industry.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to do a few little fun little segments with you to finish. So I'm going to ask you a few little questions.
Yep.
And then let me know what you think straight away kind of thing. And then we'll go into our German disaster.
Okay.
So first question, what is the most common thing clients say in a consultation?
Oh, that they're happy with their skincare, but their problem is congestion or their problem is pigmentation. And I want to go, so if you're using those products and they're working, why are you here? Because you've got another problem. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, so what is the biggest misconception people have before they come in?
Oh, that we're going to sell them everything.
Yeah.
That's old school. We're educators.
Yeah.
And so they need to be able to understand that we're going to give them a home care program, but it's going to suit them specifically.
Yeah. What is the hardest conversation you've ever had with a client?
Oh, this is a hard one for me. Probably just to say no, they cannot have a treatment. It could be peels, it could be whatever, or a modality. They can't have a modality for a specific reason. Yeah. That's pretty hard, but I think probably if you build a rapport and a friendship with clients, it's not too bad.
I think I'll add to that one is the saying no is we are smack bang our clinic on the beach, right? And we have clients all the time that come in that are big surfers and they want IPL after they've been in the surf and they're so sunburned. And I'm like, no. And they're like, but she had it. And I'm like, you look raging with sunburn and there's actually heat in your skin and you're also Brazilian. What is going on? It's just, that whole saying no thing spirals me to the core. Okay. Have you ever had to tell someone they're not suitable for a treatment?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
And what's one thing you wish every client knew before coming to their first appointment?
That if they're not using sunscreen, there is no point to doing anything.
Yeah.
Or cleansing correctly. I'm a big person on cleansing correctly, aren't you?
Cleanse, yeah. What is your recommended cleansing advice?
Oh, this is a big one for me. So I always talk about a glass table.
Yeah.
And you put makeup on it, what is skincare on it, you got two little ones, a bit of pollution for the day, and then you get your cleanser and you cleanse that area and then you wash it with water. And you're expecting it to be super clean. It's not going to. You need something to wipe away the cleanser, wipe away the dirt, the grime, the oil, the makeup to get that correct cleanse.
So how many times do you cleanse?
Always cleanse twice at nighttime. And then I cleanse once in the morning. It depends. But I'm a very religious person, so I will never go to bed with makeup on, ever.
No. Yeah.
Ever.
I will not do that either. And do you cleanse with what do you cleanse with? Do you cleanse with like a cream? Do you cleanse with an oil? Do you cleanse with a balm? Do you cleanse with foaming? What do you do?
So I do cleanse with like an emulsion balm first, and then I use like a hydrating cleanser, but that has a little bit, I don't like it where it's too milky.
Yeah. I hate milk.
Yeah, same, yeah. And then in the morning it's normally a balm.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Okay. Sweet. All right. Well, let's go into our little derm or disaster segment.
Okay.
So I'll just fire little statements at you and you tell me obviously if it's a derm, which means it's positive, and obviously a disaster is like,
okay,
we don't have time for that. All right. So number one, coming into your skin consultation wearing a full face of makeup.
Well, that's just stupid because what a waste of makeup.
Yeah.
And we have to take it off. So, it's a bit of a disaster when you think about it.
Perfect. Buying skincare before getting a professional consultation.
Oh, just a disaster. That is actually the worst thing you can do.
Expecting results after one treatment.
Oh, ridiculous. Disaster.
Clinic hopping every month instead of sticking to a treatment plan.
Disaster.
Self-diagnosing your skin from TikTok.
Oh, disaster. They're causing more problems than it's worth.
100%. Following an influencer's skincare routine because it worked for them.
Oh, disaster.
Yes. Not wearing SPF while treating pigmentation.
A disaster. That is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I feel like we say that all the time. And I'm like,
yeah.
Or clients being like, I don't want to put the chemical on my skin. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh, it's wild. Sleeping in your makeup.
A disaster. I don't know how they do it.
Using makeup wipes as your cleanser.
I don't know if I've ever told you this, my 3 things. Wipes are only for flights, fannies and festivals. That's the only thing you can use them on. They are so bad for your skin.
Yeah.
So bad for your skin. So disaster. And it actually makes worse.
Yeah,
your skin does.
I hate makeup wipes.
Yep.
Picking your pimples.
Oh, that is the worst thing. That's what causes the scarring. It's
Insane. Never washing makeup brushes.
A disaster. You're just putting bacteria back on your face.
Yeah, I just...
Ugh.
Wild. Using 10 different skincare brands in one routine.
Yeah, it's a disaster because you don't know if one's, like, you would have to be layering as well. What's your molecular weight? So they could be doing it all completely wrong.
Yeah.
Or one could be counteracting the other. So it's just silly. It's silly.
Wanting the same treatment because your friend, it worked for them.
Oh, disaster. That's just, every skin is so different. That's why we customise now and personalise.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Coming into a consultation and saying, I just want glass skin.
Oh, well, the expectation is ridiculous. So that's a disaster in itself. Yeah. It takes, it takes time.
Patience.
Yes, and home care.
Yeah, 100%. And then our final question is, if you could ban one skincare habit forever, what would it be?
I'd say over-exfoliation.
Yeah.
Overdoing it is actually causing them more harm. But then again, that's where you go to a professional to find out how many times you need to exfoliate and what would be the best exfoliant for you. And that's also coming down to lifestyle as well. Yeah. Because if it's something that's going to take you too long and you're a mum of 2 and you're busy and you're not going to use it, it's a waste. Yeah. So making sure that you've got someone to customise your exfoliation and not overdoing it.
Stunning. That wraps us up for the end of the session, which is awesome.
Thank you.
That was really good. So thank you so much for coming.